So if you think about the changes that you made, the surface area of what you were trying to touch was not just close to 2,000 doors. It was also multi-market,
Right.
which in my mind is compounding complexity.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the drive times were. What were the markets? What was the proximity? How did you decide to do that? And what commentary or feedback do you have for somebody that's thinking about, maybe dreaming about a multi-market scenario?
So this is the great question. I was on NARPM, Nevada, and NARPM Las Vegas talking about this as well. It is extremely difficult to run multiple markets, let alone multiple offices, okay? Those are difficult tasks. So number one, how did I get into it? I was in the military. I was moving a little bit, and I just kept everywhere I went, I added another office. I don't recommend that as a
Best practice?
Yeah, that's not the best way to do it. And I never wanted to give it up. I was like, well, I don't want to give up these markets because I've started them. I've got some skin in the game. So we've had to learn to adjust. And there are days when I'm like, if I had one market, I could be the master and I could do much better in one. And that might be true. But the fact is I have three, and I had to learn how to best grow three. So if I was talking to another property management company owner and they wanted to move into another market, the first thing I would say is, look, I would try to stay close to home first. You don't have to go state to state. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're in San Diego, California. Yeah, it's the Southwest, and it's not far of a drive or a flight, but it's also not the same as if I was in San Diego and Orange County, right up the road. So my first advice would be is pick a market that is somewhat closer. So if you have to be there, you can. If you want to use redundant tactics like one, receptionist for both offices or a manager to cover down, it's a little bit easier. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, try to find and cut out redundancy. People think that you need to have a receptionist at every desk, and in today's world, it's why. You could have one receptionist. She or he could even be a remote team member answering all the calls for every office in one place. This is an example of trying to cut out redundancy, because the initial thought is, oh, I'll have one in every office, one of each in every office. You don't need that. And that line of thinking will make your expenses go very high. The last part is you got to find an integrator, or you got to find a way to split your time, energy up so that you can have somebody who's helping oversee and run some of these offices that you trust. It is very difficult to run multiple offices by yourself. You've got to have a director of property management or director of ops, or you have to have some kind of organizational schedule to be able to understand the complexities of each market and have someone that you trust to be able to help run those, or you're just going to run out of bandwidth yourself.